I bought the house because of the porch. It sagged charmingly on one side, which meant it had the kind of imperfections that made you take your time sitting down. The mailbox was an antique copper thing with a stubborn hinge that required 2 hands and a private apology to open. The yard sloped away from the road like a promise. Room to plant, room to breathe. The deed was clean. The survey was stamped. The county lines were the kind of lines that meant the Willow Creek Homeowners Association's covenants stopped being gospel and became, legally speaking, somebody else's business. Karen saw things differently. She arrived like a petition, formal, politely insistent, and containing a surprising number of signatures. Karen had been the president of the Willow Creek HOA for 9 years, which in small towns is the equivalent of being appointed guardian of taste. She greeted me on my front step the day my porch swing was delivered, as if offering a welcome that included a citation. She had lemon bars in a Tupperware container and a smile that smelled faintly of peroxide and confidence. "Welcome to Willow Glen," she said, as if the name alone conferred the right to measure my curtains. "It's Willow Glen Lane," I corrected, mostly because the survey had been very specific and because I liked precision. She looked at me the exact way a person looks toward a margin note that challenges the main text. She was charming for a while. She pointed out the ideal angle for the swing, so it won't catch the sun and glare into Mrs. Beale's front window, handed me pamphlets about community events, and invited me to the next HOA meeting. It felt neighborly until it didn't. 9 days after I moved in, someone slipped a glossy newsletter under my door. The front page showed identical mailboxes, hedges trimmed to the exact same height, and a photograph of Karen smiling like a mayor at a parade. That photograph was the seal of a set of expectations. "I thought we liked to know who's joining our community," she said during one of her visits, clipboard balanced in an air that suggested inevitability. "We do not belong to the same HOA map," I reminded her, and because I love documents I slid a copy of the survey across my kitchen table. The inked property lines were stubbornly literal. "That's close enough," she said, and her mouth made a tiny, almost invisible hard line. The first wave of the campaign was paperwork, subtly menacing, politely worded letters with phrases like "request for voluntary compliance." Little arrows of grammar pointed to my garden gnome, a rotund, smiling thing whose eyes had been painted to look east, and suggested that its orientation might constitute a visual affront. They even took pictures of my mailbox from a distance, as if placing it on a battlefield map. Each missive contained the gentle thread of fines and the soft shoe of legalese. I replied